George Jefferson. I loved George Jefferson. A kid growing up in the 70s? Are you kidding me? All in the Family, the Jeffersons. Brilliant. As a kid, I was like, this show's cutting edge. The dorky white guy married to the sexy black lady. George Jefferson's like, what? Wheezy, could care less. George just kind of like miffed. Great stuff. All right, where's Drew Brees? Yes, there's Angus Young. George Benson's on Broadway, believe it or not. Angus Young, the guitarist from AC/DC, with George Benson's on Broadway. Wow. You kind of heard it there for a second. Here it comes again. And then a lot of this. Yeah, he's gone again. You get little taste, little flavor of George Benson's on Broadway, and then just Angus going crazy like this. You can check that out on YouTube. That's a good video. It's like some lost vault, some kind of their prime stuff. Lost videos or something it's labeled. I forget. Anyway, good stuff. That's Angus Young from AC/DC. George Benson's on Broadway. You're on the neutral ground. Yeah, you're right. Thanks for joining us on a Thursday afternoon where New Orleans talks. Lots of ways to check out the program. Oh, so fine. 93.9 FM. Learn it, love it, live it, live it. Jason has this 93.9 suit. He wears it. He wraps himself in it. He lives it. He loves 93.9. He has a 93.9 bed. His car is wrapped in 93.9. His house, he burned in his yard with diesel fuel, 93.9. Planes fly over his house, the roof, 93.9 painted on the roof. Learn it, love it, live it. 93.9 FM. Oh, so fine. 93.9 FM. We're also on New Orleans' own 107.9 FM, 107.9 FM, the back end of the dial. 600 AM, sneaky little powerful AM signal. Take it with you on the road this extended Labor Day weekend. Some of you more fortunate folks, the lucky folks out there, already starting their extended Labor Day weekend. Yeah, if you're heading to Baton Rouge, North Shore, beeline into the Mississippi Gulf Coast, Alabama Gulf Coast, Panhandle of Florida, 600 AM will get you there. Hey, we're on Cox Channel 4 television till 5:30 on TV all over Louisiana. Louisiana's number one provider, Cox. We're on Cox Channel 4, Your View, Louisiana, 4 to 5:30 all over the state. You Charter or Spectrum TV subscribers, check us out on Charter Spectrum Channel 333, 4 to 5:30 weekdays, Spectrum Channel 333. CoreyTalks.com live streaming. Link up to our YouTube channel. You can go to YouTube and do it. Go to the search bar, Corey Johnson Neutral Ground. Click to subscribe. It don't cost nothing. Our YouTube channel. You can check out the program wherever you might be. I love that. We're trying to grow that thing. Hey, the 4 o'clock hour this afternoon brought to you by Katie's. You should be at Katie's right now in Mid-City. The perfect wind down the day place. It's a neighborhood joint right there on Iberville, corner Tallahassee, literally in the heart of Mid-City. Easy for lots and lots of folks to get to. 10 minutes, 15 minutes from hundreds of thousands of New Orleanians like you. What are you waiting for? Great food, great vibe, great atmosphere, lots of folks just like you. It is the quintessential New Orleans restaurant. It's as New Orleans as it gets. A Mid-City mainstay. Go check out Katie's. You folks out in Harahan, out in Elmwood, River Ridge, bienvenue. It's like a restaurant desert out in that part of town. Out off Clearview, heading out into, Old Jefferson, past Airline, towards West Napoleon, West Metairie, towards the I-10. You guys don't have many great restaurant choices. Bienvenue, the Katie's of Harahan, bringing a little mid-city New Orleans Katie's flavor to Hickory, right in the curve, right in the bend in the road. Bienvenue, the Katie's of Harahan, Katie's in mid-city. You should be there right now. Corey Johnson with you on a gorgeous Thursday if you're in your car with the windows up and the AC's on and you're just looking outside through the glass or from outside, or I guess in the shade if you can find a breeze. It's a little hot, but it's sunny, clear, blue skies pretty much. I shouldn't say clear, some little clouds blowing over. Somebody's getting a drizzle, I guess, somewhere. I don't know where. I don't think. Looks pretty clear to me out there. I don't think there's any threat of afternoon thunder showers, but I'm sure that's going to change for our upcoming Labor Day weekend. I'll fill you in on that. Hey, next week, DA Jason Williams will join us on the program. Next week, NOPD Chief Sean Ferguson will join us on the program. You'll want to be here next week, September, getting it going right on the program. Hey, Rouse's Markets phone lines are open if you'd like to participate. 504-766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. 766-9480. The mayor, the city, hire former NYPD patrol chief. He was deputy chief, I think, second in charge of NYPD. Hiring him for at least 6 months, or I should say up to 6 months. He's consulting chief of operations. Fausto Pichardo. Might be heading over to Fausto's. Might get a comp meal. He's a cop, and his name's Fausto. Get a discount, the policeman's discount. I often I shouldn't say this, but I should say it this way. I'll pay for a policeman's bill. I'll see cops in there. I'm like, don't tell them I'm doing it. And tip 20% to yourself or 25% and just pay their tab. You should do that kind of stuff if you can, when you can, if you have the means to do it. Could be JP's in Jefferson Parish, NOPD in New Orleans, Gretna cops, Kenner cops, wherever, state troopers. Pay for their meal and just the waiter. Sorry, no bill, guys. The tip, everything's taken care of. They have no control over it. They may not like it. They can say, hey, Brenda, Charlie, next time, bring us the bill. But, that time you can take care of it. And I think it's a good gesture. I think most of the time they're going to appreciate it. Anyway, we're going to visit with, I should say, another edition of Henican and Hillyer. We're going to visit with right-leaning Quin Hillyer, left-leaning Ellis Henican in about 7 minutes. And what's great about right out the gate, I got to ask Quin about his new gig, Sundays, his commentary editorial at NOLA.com, Times-Picayune. And his first piece last week was on the crime problem in New Orleans and how to attack it. And then we get to ask Ellis about this NYPD guy, since Ellis will know about this deputy chief, something about him. Another edition of Hillyer and Henican. Yeah, we'll find out about Trump and Lindsey Graham and Ukraine and all kind of good stuff. The president, the battle for the soul of our nation. He's having a 7:00 prime time speech. I don't know. I guess with Serena Williams playing tomorrow night. She's playing doubles tonight with Venus at 6. Pretty epic. She pulls an upset in 3 sets last night. Has a woman or a woman's team ever supplanted the men? I tweeted last night that there's a men's side at the U.S. Open. It's like Serena Williams is the dominant story. The story at the U.S. Open, center court, pulling in the crowds, drawing the attention of the tournament. People are like, there's a men's side. The tennis purists know there's a men's side. The folks that just key into these tournaments like this, the biggies, right now are focusing on Serena Williams, the non-tennis fans. Because one of the greatest things I think in sports is the aging star athlete, long in the tooth, as Jim Finks used to say, kind of on the way out the door, the last hurrah, the swan song, and digging deep and making a heroic run. What's better than that in sports?
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about fresh local fish like flounder, snapper, and speckled trout, fried, broiled, or grilled. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, now with 4 area locations. Canal at Carrollton, on the North Shore in Slidell, in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana, and now in Metairie, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. The Woodhouse Day Spa.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
This is what Drew Brees thinks about Super Discount Store in Chalmette. Actually, Brees doesn't think at all about Super Discount Store, but they do have the lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law for beer, alcohol, and wine. Super Discount Store in Chalmette. Super Discount Store!
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With high-definition night vision surveillance systems, letting you see what's going on. Home surveillance that's smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool side. NolaAC.com, your cool side.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a Thursday. Hey, don't forget tomorrow and every Friday, Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans Inc. joins us. That segment's always brought to you by Latrim, the global manufacturing giant. Born, bred, based right here in New Orleans. If you're an East Banker or West Banker, Latrim's hiring at their Elmwood facility under the UEP Long Bridge. And it's not like 2 or 3 job openings, dozens and dozens and dozens of job openings on their website. If you're on the North Shore, Latrim's got a Hammond facility that's hiring. They're about to hire 450. Head to the website for a full listing of positions available, latrim.com. Latrim spelled L-A-I-T-R-A-M, latrim.com, as New Orleans as it gets. Speaking of, here's a couple of New Orleans cats, born and raised, born and bred here. One's a Jesuit kid. Hey, no one's perfect. One went to Newman. Hey, no one's perfect. Then it was Georgetown and Columbia and other schools and stuff like that. Essentially, although Quin gets upset when I say they've been gone pretty much their entire adult lives, Quin says, that's not true. And he says he was in New Orleans for some years in there, but Quin spent a long time in D.C. on the Beltway. I mean, politics firsthand. It's another edition of Hillyer and Henican. What's up, boys? Thanks for joining us again. How are you, Ellis?
Hey, Corey. Good to be with you, man.
You can check out Ellis's website at Henican.com. Quin Hillyer with one N in Quin. Quin Hillyer joins us. You can check him out at QuinHillyer.com. How's it going, Quin?
Going great. Great to be on with you guys again. And let me put in a plug for Latrim, who you just put in a plug for. That is one heck of a good company, and anybody looking for a job would do very well to go there.
Boy, J.M. LePere was a genius, stepping on the shrimp on the dock, and the shrimp squirted out and the peeling stayed behind. Invents the shrimp peeling machine that's still the industry standard worldwide, and that led to the even bigger all-plastic modular conveyor belt. The guy was a genius.
Well, and the second and third generation are doing pretty darn well, too.
Now, Corey, speaking of hiring and jobs, Latrim is not the only organization in the New Orleans area that's hiring. You know, I understand that NOLA.com, the Times-Picayune and Advocate have been doing some hiring lately, and someone we know has just signed on over there.
Ellis, I will be riding my bike with the basket and throwing papers in the Gretna neighborhood starting on Monday. Thanks for letting everybody know that. It's sort of like Uber. All right. No, I'm glad you mentioned that. No, I'm glad you mentioned that. We got a little taste last Sunday, didn't we, Ellis?
So if folks don't know, you have no excuse, but our friend Quin Hillyer has just begun a super important column every week in the paper and online as well, so you can get it wherever it is that you are. A conservative voice playing off the news of the moment, expressing things in his typically erudite but frank and provocative manner, taking on the issue of crime. I guess maybe even solving the issue of crime in New Orleans in his most recent column. But Quin, anybody who gets it up to write a regular column in a local paper has my respect. Something I did for many years, one of the greatest jobs in the world, and I'm really glad you're doing it, and people are lucky to get to read it. How's that for a plug?
That is awfully nice of you, Ellis. I really appreciate it. Now, I'm still full-time at the Washington Examiner, but what the Picayune and Advocate are going to do, and I'm just thrilled with this, every Sunday they're going to run one of my columns. Three weeks a month they're going to take one that I've written on a national topic for the Examiner and run it locally as well. And then once a month I'm going to write something special, Louisiana-based, Louisiana-focused, only for them. And I'm just absolutely thrilled to be back in regular print in my home state, and I just I'm really glad at the response I've got in the first week, and also glad that friends like you on both sides, all sides of the political spectrum have been very welcoming. So every Sunday, Picayune and Advocate in the opinion section. Quin Hillyer, thanks.
Hey, Ellis, as kind of a left-leaning liberal type guy, the Times-Picayune, the city of New Orleans. I mean, you know the history here with some journalism, a little bit, even though you've been in New York for decades. The Times-Picayune, the city, desperately needs a reasonable, thoughtful, conservative-leaning voice. We've got the Democrat-liberal thing pretty well covered in New Orleans, like we got the Republican thing covered in the rest of the state of Louisiana. And New Orleans needs Quin, I think. So does the paper.
You know, I would agree completely about that, but with a little bit of a caveat. First of all, it seems to me that good, honest opinion writing really ought to stray beyond those traditional labels. And one of the things I always like about debating with Quin is that he's not a predictable Me Tooer on this stuff. I mean, what I want in a good column, and it's certainly true of his stuff, is somebody who does some actual thinking every time out, you know, who takes an issue, weighs it, you know, takes some philosophical underpinnings, but also applies some current fact and some independent thought about it. That's what's interesting and unpredictable and provocative about a column. And I would say that whether the person leaned one way or another, or was just a seat of the pants thinker. I mean, that's what's fun about journalism, particularly the opinion side of it. And I think we need more of it in all directions.
Quin?
I agree with what he just said. Other than I am very honored and touched by the compliments to the extent that they were meant for me. But yeah, I think opinion journalism needs to be principles based and not team based. Not this is my team, so I'm gonna take their position no matter whether or not it actually agrees with their stated principle, no matter whether or not it actually shows any integrity. How about applying the principles no matter whose ox is gored and no matter who gets helped?
That's exactly right. And you know what? So many issues today don't fall into those lines. I mean, I'll give you a quick one. I know you've got a long lineup, Corey, but if you don't mind,
no,
like this fight today, right, between Mitch McConnell, right, the Republican leader in the Senate, and Senator Scott, who is the head of trying to get Republicans reelected this year in the midterms. They've gone to war with each other. Right? And McConnell says we got a bunch of lame candidates here and they're not doing well. And Scott takes offense at that. He blames McConnell for trying to undermine them. I don't know what the conservative, the liberal opinion on it is. I think it's a really interesting political story, and I'd want to hear what any columnist had to say about it.
Quin?
In this case, McConnell is right in that, I mean, maybe he shouldn't be saying it because it might not be good for his party's prospects in the fall. But the fact of the matter is that the A team for Republicans in Senate races, in many Senate races nationwide, the A team either got scared out of running in the first place or they got defeated by people that Donald Trump chose, not because they were the strongest candidates, but because they were the most willing to kiss Donald Trump's ring, shall we say. And so you've got frankly, some loons out there. Now, that's not to say I think very highly of a lot of these Democratic candidates either. But the fact is that in at least 5 states, the Republican nominee is the one who polls the worst in the general election compared to the other possible people that ran against that person's nomination, but didn't win because Trump endorsed the loser or the more likely loser just because they were willing to sing Trump's tune. And that's what Mitch McConnell is saying in so many words, and he's right.
It's another edition of Hillyer and Henican. Hey, guys, before we hit the national scene, Ellis mentioned it, Quin. Your first piece last Sunday, NOLA.com, the New Orleans crime problem and maybe ways to help solve New Orleans' crime problem. Was that pretty much the gist of that piece?
That's the gist of it. And And I basically said two things. First of all, we need a dragnet. We need to have some show of force in a way that where force is actually appropriate and visible to not only get bad guys off the streets, but to send a message that we're getting bad guys off the street. And the place we need to do it is on the interstate between downtown and the I-10 bridge to Slidell, because it's a crazy zone out there. You drive there almost any time of the day, but especially Friday nights, people are going 100 miles an hour, weaving in and out of traffic. They're almost certainly running drugs. We've seen the statistics how dangerous the highway is there. We've also seen the statistics that New Orleans East is where the crime is the worst. So why not have a police presence there? And if we don't have enough local police, ask the state to send state police, just like Bobby Jindal sent state police at the request of Mayor Mitch Landrieu then to the French Quarter when we were having trouble in the French Quarter. You got to do something, and you got to be visible, and you've got to start enforcing the law.
That was the first piece from Quin. You can check it out last Sunday, NOLA.com. Every Sunday, Quin Hillyer, part of the Times-Picayune team with his column, his editorial every Sunday at NOLA.com. Hey, when we come back, speaking of New Orleans crime, Ellis, maybe you can help us out. The mayor, the city hired former NYPD patrol chief. I think he was like deputy chief, second in charge in New York, Fausto Pichardo. Tell us about him when we return. Corey Johnson with you.
Kanye West was seen shopping at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google.
Okay, I think Kanye was talking about something else entirely. Super Discount Store on Paris Road in Chalmette.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Henican. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Tommy's Lock and Alarms is now hiring service and installation technicians. Great benefits, great pay, take-home vehicle. Apply today. Tommy'sLockandAlarms.com.
Enjoy outdoor dining on the streetcar line, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, the finest in Middle Eastern cuisine, Carrollton at Jeanette, Lebanon's Cafe.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex, there's something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson with you. An extended Labor Day weekend, huh? A lot of folks taking advantage of that. It's another edition of Hillyer and Henican. Right-leaning Quin Hillyer, left-leaning Ellis Henican join us. Ellis, you've been up in New York for 40 years, man. Who's this? I guess he was like number 2 for a little while. Tell us what you know about, is it Pichardo, Fausto Pichardo, that New Orleans is hiring for as long as 6 months as a consulting chief of operations. Tell us about him and why was he let go, or why did he leave in 2020 from the NYPD?
Oh, he just retired. Chief Pichardo, one of the, I would say, more impressive law enforcement leaders in New York. He was the chief of patrol, which meant that he ran day-to-day operations of the uniformed cops out on the street. Originally from the Dominican Republic, so I guess he was probably the highest-ranking Latino officer on the course. But a good reputation, no corruption problems brutality problems that I'm aware of. He retired. He wasn't fired. I mean, he left. He's in his mid-40s, and he put in 20 years or so, and I think wanted to get out and do some other stuff. There was some little rumbles about disagreements with Mayor de Blasio over some of the Black Lives Matter stuff and some of the pandemic issues. I mean, it's been a tough time for the NYPD, as it has been for the NOPD and police departments across America. Listen, I think it's a terrific job. He's clearly a pro. He's a guy who knows what he's doing. And one of the things that needs to be done in New Orleans, Quinn was mentioning a moment ago, are just some really very basic police procedural activities. I think laying down the line and saying we're going to gain control of I-10 East is a really good start. It's a kind of a high-profile thing that people see. Will it solve the crime problem in New Orleans? No, that's a deeply complex problem that has to do with police manning and economic conditions and opportunities for people and education and a whole bunch of stuff. But you know what? The police are a part of that, and they've got to publicly show that they are not giving up, that they've got some manpower on the street, and that they're doing their job.
Yeah, the macro picture. Right now at New Orleans, sort of when the drifting car thing's going down, when what Quinn's talking about, car shootings on the interstate and insane stuff like that, it sends a message that New Orleans is sort of the Wild Wild West, and you can get away with this. And actually, these folks are coming in from other places to do the car drifting with a van of tires and rims to replace the tires when they burn them up and to continue doing it. It's mind-boggling. But no, I think you got to change the narrative that, no, this isn't a place that you can get away with this kind of stuff. Anyway, no, good to hear about it's Pichardo.
Pichardo, yes, it's the Spanish pronunciation, Pichardo.
Yeah, Fausto Pichardo. No, I like it. As long as 6 months, we're going to have NOPD Chief Sean Ferguson program next week. So talk about him. And I think there's another guy they're bringing in from the old consent decree to try to change this whole thing. Hey, guys, let's continue on. No, go ahead, Quinn. You wanted to add something?
Yeah, I just want to say I'm delighted to hear what Ellis has to say about Pichardo. I think a lot of people right now are very critical of the mayor, of Mayor Cantrelle. But this looks like the right sort of move.
Yep.
It's a high-profile move. It's an aggressive move, and so hats off to her. But also,
that's right.
I've got to say, the other piece of good news is that there's this big private coalition that is formed that has, the old Metropolitan Crime Commission, which is a good private group, but they're getting together with business groups, with liberal political groups. I think with some of the traditionally black organizations, and so it's not just coming from one side. There's a private coalition coming together to also work on fixing the crime problem. So you put that together with this Pichardo guy, and maybe we can turn the tide.
I'm so glad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking the NOLA coalition, the opposite. I embrace it. I think it's brilliant. It's about time. It's long overdue. But in one way, it's like, man, don't we elect our politicians to do that? But I'm so glad it's there because Louisiana and New Orleans have a history, 30, 40, 50 years, our whole lives plus, of just low expectations and terrible politicians, black, white, Republican, Democrat, absolutely terrible. So if we need to have a NOLA coalition where this gumbo of citizens comes together to sort of dictate the policy to these politicians, so be it. Because the needs of the few seem to outweigh the needs of the many with the politicians. This NOLA coalition's kind of the opposite concept.
Yeah, apathy is your enemy here. I mean, you cannot have people with the feeling, "Oh, there's nothing we can do about this." Yes, there's something you can do about it. It's not easy, but you got to get going.
No, I think that's the thing that got the straw that broke the camel's back. There was a lot of apathy. Folks didn't like the mayor, but this recall thing that popped up, Ellis, I think the junkets are obnoxious. It makes people upset. When you're flying first class for $18,600, normal people, rich people can't wrap their brain around that. Wealthy people can't wrap their brain around that. 3.5 days in the French Riviera. Who goes to Europe for 3.5 days? Just people can't wrap their brain around that. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back. People that are struggling paycheck to paycheck going, $18,000. That's what I paid for my car. What? That was for air travel. So I think that snapped New Orleans out of the apathy towards the mayor's not good, but there's nothing we can do about it. Actually having a recall effort here in New Orleans, Ellis.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to go anywhere, but I like the breaking of the apathy. I mean, I'm for doing things that are productive and that achieve things. Let's come up with specific actions. I like Quin's. Let's go regain control of I-10 East. That's great. That's something you can actually do. It doesn't take that many people. It doesn't take that many resources. It's done in public. So let's just start doing stuff.
Yep. Boy, Quin, social media makes a recall a little more viable in 2022, doesn't it?
It does, but I've got to tell you what, I think they jumped the gun because they should have had their organizational ducks in a row before starting the clock. There's only a certain amount of
6
time
months.
that God once you announce it, and they announced it before they had their organization in place. They need professional help to organize this. They can't. I mean, granted, you're going to have a lot of volunteers, but to get volunteers, you got to have professionals who know how to get volunteers. So if this thing is going to go anywhere, they need to get professional help, and they need to really get cracking. I'm not saying they should or they shouldn't. I think there's some pretty good reason to be mad at the mayor, but either way, if they're serious about it, get some professional help and get moving.
NoLatoya.org is the website. I know they have like 4 signing areas, signature areas tomorrow where you can sign the petition all over Metro New Orleans. NoLatoya.org. Hey, Ellis, what Donald Trump and company, they're trying to get the judge a request for a special master appointee. Fill us in on what that means, and why does Trump want this special master to have top secret clearance if it isn't top secret documents? I'm kind of lost on that.
I don't think it's a determinative development. It's a legal procedure that's being debated between two sides. The question is whether you should allow, as you would in normal criminal cases, a special unit inside the Justice Department that is segregated from the actual prosecutors and agents who are working on the case to judge whether any of the proceeds of that search are outside of the realm of the warrant that the judge signed. It's routine criminal procedure. It happens in thousands and thousands of cases every year. In some rare cases, they bring in maybe a retired judge or someone like that to kind of oversee the thing. To me, at this point, that's largely a procedural way to slow things down a bit. And I frankly don't have that strong a feeling about it in either direction.
Quinn, I don't think either. Well, I shouldn't say either. So I don't think the feds care if that does happen, do they?
Well, they have filed a very strong legal argument against having a special master. But I think if one is appointed, they also have a little thing at the end of their filing that says, well, if you do appoint it, this is what you need to do. So I think they would rather not have one because it's going to slow them down. But as long as a special master is somebody that both sides can agree on, I don't think I don't think that the feds think it's going to kill their case. I think they would rather not have one. But Ellis is right. It's not that big a deal either way. What is a big deal is what the heck Donald Trump was doing with all of those things. And I don't, forget whether he had some weird legal right to say everything that I declassify by waving my hand without going through the normal process is declassified. Forget about the legal for a minute. Was it right or was it wrong? And the answer is, it is wrong because those are state secrets and they're obviously not kept in a secure place there at Mar-a-Lago. And so it is putting the country at risk, and that's wrong, no matter what the legalities are.
All right, real quick, I'm going to throw this out there, and we're going to knock out our final break and then come right back and knock this out. What about executive privilege? Just that all-encompassing blanket, or at least Trump's folks attempt at making it an all-encompassing blanket. And then Trump's attorney saying, basically, do you think things that are declassified and aren't top secret, we go get a new folder that says not top secret or a stamp that says not top secret? These things that say top secret weren't top secret. We'll talk about that next.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan.
Recently, Kim Kardashian was seen at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
Let's party.
Can you think of any other celebrities that won't sue us? Super Discount Store in Chalmette. The lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and cold beer. 3235 Paris Road.
For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockandalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Rouse's Markets means convenience. Every one of our 65 locations opens at 7 a.m., some at 6:30, and they're open until 10 p.m., with some staying open till 11 or even midnight. Convenience. Rouse's Markets. Tastes like home.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro, Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
Have a painting project but can't decide on the perfect color? At Helm Paint and Decorating, we offer half-pint paint samples in any Benjamin Moore color for under $5, so you can test potential paint colors before investing in a full gallon.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Another edition of Hillyer and Henican. Left-leaning Quin Hillyer is with us. Right-leaning Quin Hillyer is with us. Left-leaning Ellis Henican. Hey, Quin, what about executive privilege? Top secret or not, I can take the stuff. I'm the former president. And then what about one of the attorneys for the former President Trump saying, do you think stuff that's declassified, we go get a new folder? All this stuff's declassified. It's not top secret. It's just sitting in the old top secret folder. And that now famous photo is a bunch of nonsense that we're seeing.
I'll just say a single declarative factual sentence and then turn it over to Ellis, who will offer wisdom. But just as an absolute legal fact, except under very rare circumstances, former presidents have no legal authority to exert executive privilege without the current administration agreeing. Flat out, executive privilege almost never exists for former presidents. That's a fact.
What if he's saying, I declassified this stuff as I was going out as president?
That again, that's a different legal question, and I've been talking a lot, so I'll let Ellis weigh in on that. But it's sort of absurd.
Ellis?
Well, there's no evidence that it happened. The president, while he is president, does have the power to declassify things, but there's a process that has to go. It's very complicated. There are other agencies, in some cases, other governments involved, and there's no evidence that it happened.
There'd be some sort of trail.
Right, and in the recent filings, the court finds it hasn't even been asserted anymore. I'm not even sure that argument is still alive. It's been frustrating on one side here, which is that it would be nice, if we're going to hash out these legal arguments, for the president to have the ex-president to have competent legal counsel, and he hasn't. He's had some woman who used to be a One American Network anchor and some guy who I guess does, house closings or something. And so none of these arguments have really been made in any kind of a reasonable way. And consequently, the Justice Department has just been running circles around. And so I assume that we're now on the verge. I know that an ex-Solicitor General from the state of Florida is supposedly joining the team. Quin probably will like him more than I do, but I mean, I think he's probably a competent attorney, and it'll be interesting to see how some of this stuff plays out. I would say at the moment, the Justice Department has been kicking butt.
It's another edition of Hillyer and Henican. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday afternoon. Trey Yens with you. Opening up the doors in a few minutes. Dine in tonight or get a to-go order. Curbside delivery. They're literally walk it right out to your car. Trey Yen in Mandeville. So good. Hey, Ellis, tonight at 7, the president, I think, is having a primetime address. The battle for the soul of the nation.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen, here's the political reality. Corey, Dems are feeling confident again.
No, I was going to say Democrats are gaining a little ground. Is that real?
Well, I think it is real. I mean, well, for several reasons. First of all, the overturning of Roe versus Wade is probably the single biggest factor. It is clearly sent an energizing bolt across the Democratic constituency, female voters, suburban voters. And it's been played and emphasized by the fact that these state legislatures are taking such extremist approaches to this, prohibiting abortions for rape victims, for incest victims, for children abused by their relatives. It's just played right into the Democratic narrative that if you allow Republicans to control this kind of stuff, they're not going to be reasonable. They're not going to come up with some fair solution. They're going to go out to the crazy extremes. And let me tell you, it's helping Democrats.
Quin? Uh-oh, did we lose Quin? Quin, are you there? Uh-oh, we may have lost Quin. See if we can get Quin back before we get out of the top of the hour. I'd like to at least say bye and hype Quin's new role on Sundays with the Times pick. Hey, Ellis, New York City shining this time of the year. The U.S. Open, huh?
It is. It's one of the great sporting events of our time. It's just you know what? Even if you don't like tennis, the U.S. Open is an amazing event. It's just a party that goes on all day. All kind of people there.
Late into the night. I mean, they'll have matches going past midnight. It's crazy.
There are two tickets. You can buy a day ticket or a night ticket. And if you get the day ticket, I guess you can come around 10 in the morning and stay. You can get your seat until 7 o'clock at night when the night guy comes and throws you out. But you can still stay in the campus, and there's a ton of stuff to do, and there's side matches and practice courts, and it's just a cool event.
Go check out the Mets. The Mets and Dodgers are playing at the same time. Are you kidding me?
That's right. You can take the same number 7 train on Long Island Railroad Day. You don't even need to drive. It's I know I have all kind of complicated feelings about New York, but those are two of the cool ones.
No, it really is. Hey, we were talking about the U.S. Open, Quin. Is there anything better, Quin, because I know you love sports, than an aging superstar athlete, kind of the last call, swan song, digging deep and making a little run? What's better than that in sports?
Very, very few things are better than that. Awesome job by Serena Williams last night, and more power to her. She has grown up and turned into a gracious, wonderful champion, and I wish her the best.
Hey, Quin, every Sunday, Times-Picayune, right?
Every Sunday, Times-Picayune, and then other stuff almost every day at just Google Quin Hillyer and Washington Examiner. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it.
Now, Ellis, this is just a rumor, but I'm hearing you're doing a piece with the Kenner Star, similar to your Subway series with Newsday. You're going to be embedded at the Esplanade Mall as it deteriorates and write stories about that.
I thought it was on. I thought it was on a local bus on Airline Drive. There, it was going all the way from the airport downtown in about 4 hours. I think you'll get there.
Hey, that's my gig. Leave it alone, buddy.
Good to be with you guys.
Ellis, always a pleasure. Henican.com to check out Ellis's stuff. Quin, thanks so much.
Thanks.
That's Quin Hillyer. Quin with one N, Hillyer.com. Go check out his stuff. That's Blue Boy barking up a storm saying, Corey, 5 o'clock powwow is next. And Maybe you should give that legal ID, 93.9 FM, 107.9 FM. Thank you, Blue Boy.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Interlocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Interlocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Interlocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about their daily lunch specials like red beans and rice, black-eyed peas, white butter beans, liver and onions. Daily lunch specials. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarm. With smart home technology, control lights, locks, cameras, thermostat, and your alarm, all from your phone or laptop. Smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Where can you find shish kebab in New Orleans? Lamb, beef, chicken, shrimp, plus all your other Mediterranean favorites. Lebanon's Cafe on the streetcar line. Lunch, dinner, and shish kebab. Lebanon's Cafe.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry, superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us steer you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris Road.
The lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, super discount store in Chalmette.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, is now more convenient than ever. Now open, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Metairie location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. Metairie and Kenner's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Jason, we have a program to do. We're just sitting there chatting it up in the green room. I'm laid out on the couch like William Conrad, like I'm Cannon,
with guest star
watching a little U.S. Open tennis. And
special guest
Jason
star Donna Winter
is rapping with me, and they were like, "Oh, dude, I think the show's starting."
Tonight's episode. Catch me if you
We
can.
can catch you, Conrad. Cannon. I'm kind of bummed out. I was looking forward to Cannon reruns, followed by Barnaby Jones. Corey Johnson with you Thursday afternoon, 5 o'clock power hour. Yeah, you right. If you missed the 4 o'clock hour, you missed a lot. Another edition of Hillyer and Henican. Right-leaning Quin Hillyer, left-leaning Ellis Henican joined us. Talked about a lot of stuff. Quin has a new gig with the Times-Picayune every Sunday. A conservative right-leaning columnist. Much needed for the Times-Picayune, much needed for the city of New Orleans. I'm a registered independent. I think Louisiana's a state. I thought, hey, I'm not saying John Bel Edwards is the greatest governor at all. But I thought when he was elected, I was like, that's amazing. Kind of hardcore right-wing Louisiana, electing a Democrat as governor, showing a little flexibility. Not a lot of flexibility in New Orleans. This is a hardcore Democrat city. Look at the mayor's release, her statement on the recall effort. Conservatives, Republicans, just this code for like white racists, this code that's like, hey, in a liberal city like New Orleans full of black folks, Republican and conservative are evil. They're against us. It's the devil. Crazy. Anyway, no, I'm independent. Try to be. Obviously, I fall on left and right, different issues. That's why I'm a registered independent. I couldn't see falling, registering as a Democrat or a Republican when I was 18. Nothing really fit for me. Anyway, if you missed the last hour, we talked about a lot of stuff. But yeah, that recall effort for the mayor, you can go to nolatoya.org to find out where some signings, some recall places are going to be, not like a festival or party, but a little pop-up tent, organized folks, volunteers there with the proper stuff for you to sign, lines, or, quickly moving. I think there's 4 areas: Lakefront, Algiers, Gentilly, New Orleans East, maybe. nolatoya.org. The mayor of the city did hire former NYPD Deputy Chief Fausto Pichardo as long as 6 months. That's what NOPD Chief Sean Ferguson says. By the way, the chief, NOPD Chief Sean Ferguson, will join us on the program next week. So will New Orleans District Attorney Jason Williams. So stick around for our post-Labor Day, starting September, starting sort of the pseudo fall in the right way. But the mayor, I got to give her props. I like this hire. Quin Hillyer, Ellis Henican kind of concurred with my thoughts on that. Not my thoughts when we were interviewing him, just we all kind of are in agreement, I should say, that this was a good move. And then bringing back the guy, was it Linden from Pennington era, like during that consent decree, a federal guy with experience. Yeah, try to move the needle forward with this violent crime problem in New Orleans. And like Quin and Ellis, one's conservative, one's liberal, there's just obvious. The message has to be sent out that, no, there is an NOPD, and you will get arrested for drifting or shooting someone on the interstate. Just obnoxious, overt criminal behavior, the car drifting stuff. You can't just come here from the area and do that because, in Jefferson, we wouldn't do it. You'll get popped there. The JPs aren't messing around. But in Orleans Parish, they don't have enough NOPD. You can get away with it all day long. Plus, it'll draw a big crowd. We can really get away with it. They'll be jumping on the NOPD squad cars. Now, that message has to be flipped around. That script needs to be flipped. No, last hour, Hillyer and Henican always like getting those guys on the program. And yeah, Quin, we need a right-leaning, columnist in New Orleans. We need more conservative thinking in New Orleans because it's so pure Democrat, liberal, and progressive and woke and kind of lunatic left, not moderate Democrats. Not proud Democrats that are thoughtful and, working to bang out some solutions that are moderates that can work with the other side. And it's hardcore lunatic left in New Orleans. Hard to find anyone that's a moderate Democrat or a blue dog Democrat, much less a conservative or Republican. And there's something wrong with that. The city needs more of that. The Times-Picayune desperately needed that voice. We get Tim Morris on the program. He was that voice for a while. He's got his own thing going now. He's back in town. But no, Quin Hillyer was an excellent choice by NOLA.com, Times-Picayune. And his first column was last Sunday, and it was about crime in New Orleans, how to potentially solve it. We went from that and talking to Ellis, who's been in New York 40 years, very familiar with NYPD patrol chief, former head of the New York City Police Patrol Division, thousands of cops, thousands under his badge. Fausto Pichardo, now deputy chief, or I shouldn't say that, consulting chief of operations for the NOPD. And Chief Ferguson said he'll be here as long as 6 months. 5 o'clock powwow. Hey, I got a few $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. How were Iberville and Bienville related? Were they related? 504-766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines. 504-766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. Were Iberville and Bienville related? Give me the answer to that. I've got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. 4 area Woodhouse locations, Mid-City, New Orleans, Metairie near North Kenner. They're on the North Shore, Slidell, I-10 at Gauze. They're in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana. Coming soon, a 5th area location, Woodhouse Day Spa, Mandeville. Yeah, you're right. North Shore location number 2. You can find out more online, nola.woodhousespas.com. Were Iberville and Bienville related? Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. 504-766-9480. Hey, which 4 flags have flown over New Orleans? Which 4 flags have flown over New Orleans? And how can there be 6 that have flown over New Orleans North Shore? Really? Can that be right? 2 different questions. Which 4 flags have flown over New Orleans? And could there have been 6 that flew over New Orleans North Shore? 2 more countries than New Orleans on the North Shore? Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. 766-9480. Listening on the radio, oh so fine, 93.9 FM. Checking us out on television, Cox Channel 4, Spectrum Channel 333, maybe on YouTube. We're live on YouTube. Click to subscribe. It don't cost nothing. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. Were Iberville and Bienville, essentially the founders of our city, were they related? Which 4 flags have flown over New Orleans? And were there really 6 flags, 6 different countries? 6 flags flying over New Orleans North Shore when there were only 4 on the South Shore? Really? 766-9480 is the phone number. Saint starting safety, Marcus Maye, arrested. Apparently just dumb, accused of pointing a gun at some teens. Aggravated assault with a handgun. You can't go around waving a gun around. That's good that that's the law. Anyway, Saint signed him to a 3-year, $28 million deal. He's the Saint starting strong safety. Not good. Hey, has there ever been a woman or a woman's team that supplanted the men? Same sport, same time. I mean, at the U.S. Open in New York, it's like there is a men's side. It's the Serena Williams show. In 45 minutes, Vina and Serena go at it in doubles. Coming right back.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Henican. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockанdalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris Road.
The lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, super discount store in Chalmette.
The weather's been fantastic lately. If you're painting, time to paint your house. Folks that know in the metro area, go to Helm Paint and Decorating. It's a no-brainer. For over 50 years, they'll steer you in the right direction. I'm never, ever going to paint my house again. I just put on Benjamin Moore's, one of their best products, Regal Select, has a lifetime warranty. I'll never paint again. Priced right. They literally steered me in the right direction on picking the color. Thank you, Christy Helm. Picking out the exact paint, primer, everything I needed, all the supplies. Thank you, Ronnie Helm, Joey Helm. When New Orleans paints, they go to Helm Paint and Decorating. 7 locations, East Bank, West Bank, New Orleans, Metairie, Kenner, Mandeville, Hammond. Plus free 2-hour delivery so you can keep working. Pick out your Benjamin Moore colors. Do it all online. And then give them a call, and they'll come bring it to you. Helm Paint and Decorating. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us. You know, it's easy to look the other way. We do that a lot in Louisiana. In New Orleans, we look the other way when it comes to trash and litter. Filthiest state in the country, filthiest city in America. Louisiana and New Orleans, respectively. It's sad. We look the other way. We're numb to it. Bad education system. My kid went to LSU. They're doing just fine. That kind of settling second-rate attitude that's accepted. We look the other way. We accept mediocrity and less. Bad crime. Infrastructure's beat up. How do you think we're going to take care of like animals? Treat animals humanely when we don't treat ourselves humanely in Louisiana? You got to be brave enough to look at the photos. You got to go to their Facebook page. You got to go to their website, humanela.org. If you go to the Facebook page, Humane Society of Louisiana, and check out the photos of what's going down in Concordia Parish, I don't know how you can't donate. Bunch of dogs that are emaciated and hoping and praying that Jeff Dorson and the Humane Society got to them in time to save their life. And I don't know, maybe some are going to have to be put down. Let's find out all about this. Jeff Dorson joins us from the Humane Society of Louisiana. How you doing, Jeff?
Hey, Corey, always a pleasure, and thanks for just getting to the core of it. You know, you and I talk about this a lot. We can drive by or stop and render assistance. You know, the metaphor for are we going to get involved or not?
Yep.
And I appreciate that you're telling your audience every single week the only way Louisiana is going to improve if we stop the car and get out.
Yep.
So that's all our lesson for the day. And what you're referring to is it's such a new case, Corey. I only got those pictures 20 minutes ago. The witness saw a dog barely able to stand on its own. Kids are holding it by the collar. I don't know what the deal is, but obviously they're not feeding it, caring for it. They called the sheriff's office, and the sheriff told them there's nothing they could do to call a local humane society. So everything's wrong with that communication. The sheriff is responsible. They're law enforcement. Humane societies don't have police powers. So it's called passing the buck. So not acceptable answer. Luckily, I have a sergeant friend of mine. I send him the pictures. He and his corporal are on it, and they'll talk to that dispatcher. That's not the way to handle a criminal complaint.
What about the dogs?
They're on it. We told them, make the arrest, give us the dog, we'll come get it. Concordia Parish, we'll make it happen.
It looks like a couple of it might be 2 dogs, huh?
It's the same dog, different angle.
Just, I mean, thin as can be, rail thin. I mean, looking at the pictures, can you save that dog?
Yep. And you're right. Only a couple days away, and the answer would have been different. But at this point, it's standing on its own. I think it still has some life left, and we'll get to it. And some of them break my heart. They send me after pictures, like the dog has died, and then they decide to send me pictures. I said, what's the point? Why did you do that? Why couldn't you have, jumped in 2 or 3 days ago rather than sending me the picture of a carcass? What do you want me to do? Breathe life into it?
What's the problem with this family, the dysfunction where this dog is like this?
Well, take a look, Corey, from the pictures. Litter and trash everywhere.
No, it looks like...
And that's how they're treating the dog.
Yeah.
Disposable, inanimate object, just like a discarded Coke can. And I'm glad that you tell your audience how it is. We all have to be participating in life. It's too easy to crack a beer and sit down and watch TV.
Yep.
And that's fine sometimes, but only if you give something before that or after that. But so thank you for always saying donate, volunteer, use your skills to improve our state and community. Because you're right, we're always last. And I don't quite know why we're okay with that.
I don't know, because I think everybody else is okay with it. You know, I'm serious.
You're right.
You surround yourself with people that are better than you, that achieve more than you, and you're going to achieve more and be better. You want to be mediocre or crappy, go hang out with a bunch of mediocre, crappy people. So no, I think people are surrounded by a bunch of other New Orleanians and Louisiana folks that do not give a crap, Just how it is.
Well, I have to hand it to you because you're just unwilling to let that be okay. You're kind of like the bell ringer. Don't give up, guys. We've got to do better. And so I appreciate that about you. You could just sail along like everybody else, just have a nice radio show and call it a day. But you're forever asking people, are you satisfied? And if not, what are you willing to do about it? Yep. I like that about you. We shouldn't be satisfied.
No, especially the way we treat animals in this state. It's insane. I mean, spaying and neutering is like a foreign thought. Going to the vet with your dog, and I shouldn't say most, but it might be most. You ask somebody what trifexis is. If they don't know what that is, there's a problem. You shouldn't have a dog if you don't know what trifexis is or something that's similar to it. You don't know about heartworms and what mosquitoes can do. You shouldn't have a dog. Shouldn't have a dog if you don't know those basic things. That it's almost like having a child and I have to feed them. If you have a dog in Louisiana, they have to be on some kind of heartworm medication. You have to bring your animals to the vet a couple of times a year, like at least once, ideally twice. It's just, I don't know. People, like you said, treat it like it's a TV set, some material object. So what's the end result here, Jeff? You need some money. You're going to go to Concordia Parish and go scoop up this white dog?
We are. So now's a good time. If this conversation moves you to take an action, go to our website and hit donate. The amount doesn't really matter. It's some symbolism that you're voting for something better, that you want a better outcome for Louisiana, especially the animals that are suffering. Go ahead, 5, 10, 15. I don't really care. I appreciate any amount, but it's just you voting a certain way. Voting, yep, I'm going to be somebody who cares. I'm going to be somebody who supports this activity. Here's my 5 or 10. I'm stepping up. And so I like that too about you, Corey. Every May you help us raise $10,000. We surpassed it this year. I thought that was incredible. So, we have a lot to be grateful for because you give us these 4 or 5 minutes and it makes a difference.
HumaneLA.org is the website, HumaneLA.org. You can check them out on Facebook, Humane Society of Louisiana. If you want to talk to them, 888-6-HUMANE. You see somebody that has chained up dog day in, day out. The dog's being abused, horse, animal, goat, gopher. I don't care what it is. 888-6-HUMANE. They'll help you out. HumaneLA.org. What else is going on, Jeff? You need any help in another direction?
We want volunteers to be our cruelty case managers and our courtroom monitors. Those are the people who work through the system. We get a complaint and we follow up. We call the police, the sheriff, law enforcement, USDA, a federal agent, and we make sure they go out to the scene, do their job, report back to us. Courtroom monitors play a significant role. You know, we're competing against all these other violent crimes for the attention of the DA and the judges. We had a great former prosecutor, and she makes these calls for us. Did you get the complaint from the police? Did you have the pictures? Do you have the witness statements? So we try and work it through every step of the system until we get the result we want. If that interests you, call us, 1-888-6-HUMANE. There's a place for you in our organization. Whatever skill set you have, we'll use you.
888-6-HUMANE. Plus, they'll take old car, boat, anything of value that they can sell to get the money to help out dogs and cats and kittens and puppies and goats and horses and all kind of animals. They're about us in Louisiana, lifting us up to treat animals more humanely. We got to do a better job.
Of us. And we're at Parlay's Bar on Harrison tomorrow, 3 to 6 p.m., selling raffle tickets. We'll do whatever it takes to raise some money. So join us then or on our website. Corey, a pleasure as always.
Now, real quick, you'll be at Parlay's on Harrison Avenue tomorrow afternoon from 3 to 6?
Correct.
All right. Everybody knows Parlay's, right by the steak knife in between Canal Boulevard and City Park. Orleans
Correct.
Avenue Canal, Marconi. Yep.
Animal lovers there.
Yep.
We're just meeting and greeting, getting to know people. We might have a dog or two out there selling raffle tickets.
Nice.
Low key, but, you know, this stuff still helps. We want to stay connected to the people who support us or want to support us. We'll be at different bars throughout the year. Next time, I'll give you another bar name or restaurant. We'll be doing a lot of community outreach this fall.
I know 10-year-old Tolly going on 10 months old will want to go. I'll see if 18-year-old Blue Boy's interested in heading to Parlay's, and maybe we'll come pass by tomorrow.
We'd love it. 3 to 6.
Jeff, always a pleasure, brother.
Back at you, Corey. Next time, next week.
Yeah, you're right. HumaneLA.org. Thank you, Jeff. HumaneLA.org. That's Jeff Dorson. He's with the Humane Society of Louisiana. Yeah, help him go save that dog up in Concordia Parish. I'm going to post some photos on of this dog. No, it's just sad. It really is. Something wrong with that. It really is. Crazy. This dog's just emaciated. Trying to do this while I'm on the radio. Can I pull it off while doing the program? Post on Twitter. Let's see. The gimmick, the photos, photo library, these two pictures, add, please help save this dog. And then what? At Humane. I misspelled Humane. There it is. All right. Go to my Twitter at Corey Johnson and you can check out some disturbing photos. Disturbing. Really is. This dog's like emaciated. I don't understand people. I really don't. I don't get folks. Anyway, go to my Twitter at Corey Johnson and help Jeff Dorson and the Humane Society save this dog in Concordia Parish. There's got to be an arrest made. Somebody has to be held responsible for this dog in this condition. It obviously is not legal, even in Louisiana, for this to happen, but is the law going to be enforced? And some heads need to roll. Somebody needs to be held responsible for a dog that is in this condition, beyond sinful behavior. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday afternoon. I picked up some Lebanon's Cafe today for lunch. Chicken shawarma. I got a fried football kibbe on the side, some tabbouleh, that pita bread, absolutely outstanding. Lebanon's Cafe, the finest in Middle Eastern food in Metro New Orleans. They're open till 9:30, and then they crank it open tomorrow at 11 and go straight through the entire day till 9:30. Indoor, outdoor dining, to-go orders. the finest in Middle Eastern food. You will not be disappointed. Lebanon's Cafe, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, right there in the kind of university section, Riverbend, Carrollton neighborhood. Lebanon's Cafe, yummy. Hey, next week, DA Jason Williams will join us on the program live. DA Jason Williams. Also next week, NOPD Chief Sean Ferguson on the program live. That's some good stuff for you. Starting September in our faux fall. I don't know when fall starts, like not until like October 20th. That's like if you live in the middle of the country, you get like 90 days, 3 months of each season. Not down here. We get like 6 months of summer and 6 months of not summer. So I say pseudo fall because, September we think of fall and football and all that kind of stuff, but it's still hot like summer in September. We're not going to get a break till the real fall starts, probably till around the summer. Right before Halloween. Definitely like if we're lucky, October 10th or 12th, you might get a little taste of something. Wow, it was 68 last night. But yeah, it's really closer to Halloween. So end of October, November, December, January, February, March, all pretty good. Then it starts heating up again. The folks that have some wherewithal that were affluent back in the day, 100 years ago, they'd get on the train in the summer and go to like Chicago and live there, shut the shutters, put the white sheets over the tables and the chairs and, kind of shut down the New Orleans house. People with wherewithal, with money. Still the case today. Still the case today. You got New Orleanians that for generations and generations sort of, the Memorial Day holiday till like Labor Day. They are gone for some of May, definitely all of June, all of July, all of August. Those 3 months for sure. Some extend it beyond the Memorial Day, Labor Day gimmick. Maybe include a lot of May and include a lot of September. That would be ideal. Getting out of New Orleans around May 10th, May 15th, coming back around October 15th. And going where these folks used to go, up north, away from the ridiculous heat and humidity back in the day. And yeah, some folks with some wherewithal still do that. Have their place now, New Orleans, a lot of New Orleans, you never believe it. Places in North Carolina, in the Highlands, up in the mountains, in Colorado, in Maine. Anyway, that would be ideal, huh? Plus, you'd never be mad at New Orleans. You'd never be mad or bored at the other place. Right when things would start to get where you'd be like, man, I'm getting a little antsy. You go to the other place and you'd be welcome. You'd want to be at the other place. And then right when you're getting antsy and tired of the other place, you get back to New Orleans and go back to the other place and vice versa. And you're always happy and fired up. The end. See you tomorrow, everyone. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday. Serena Williams pulls the upset last night in 3 sets, knocking off the 2 seed at the U.S. Open. The 40-year-old playing like she's 20 again. She moves on to the 3rd round at the U.S. Open. 5 more to go. 2 down, 5 to go to a championship. Yeah, it is a hard road, and it funnels down. You're not advancing to the top 32, the Sweet 16, the Final 8, the Final 4, quarterfinals, the finals, that kind of gimmick. It funnels down. You're not advancing to these, and the competition's not advancing because they got lucky. Boy, they got lucky. No, they're playing either great tennis, they're super hot at the time, or they're great all the time. They're elite players. That's how you get to the Sweet 16 or a Final 8, a Final 4. So 2 rounds down, 4 more to go to make the finals. 4 more opponents for Serena Williams to make the finals. So 5 more wins to win it all. She said it last night. I got nothing to prove, nothing to lose, playing loose. It's true. It's all gravy. Every night there's like a hype of Serena Williams. And like Serena or not, I know some folks don't like Serena Williams. Some folks do. Whatever. a lot of folks like Serena Williams in America, and a lot of folks love, I was saying this in sports, and Quin agreed last hour. Quin's a big sports fan, for whatever it's worth. One of the best things about sport is the aging athlete that is winding down their career. It's the end of the road. And they dig deep and they recapture some of the magic from their youth and make a deep run. I mean, I'm a Saints fan, and I don't want to see Tampa Bay win, but at the same time, I'm not a hate Brady guy because I was a Breeze fan. I love Drew Brees, and I'm like, God, how can you not like Tom Brady and not respect what he's done? Just dominating, the single greatest NFL player in the history of the game, and it's not even close. Just absurd high level of play. It's crazy. What it's like every other year in the Super Bowl, every 3 years wins a Super Bowl. That's like his resume. Every other year in the Super Bowl, every third year wins the Super Bowl. That's insane. That's lunacy. So no, I like that he's 45 and he's still playing. I'm rooting for Tom Brady, even though he's with Tampa and in the Saints division. I just want the Saints to beat him both times, and Saints win the division, be a game ahead of Brady. Play him in the NFC title game and beat him. Whatever, I don't care. But I like 45-year-old Tom Brady. I don't hate him because I love Drew Brees. I'm a Saints fan. I don't like anybody that's against the Saints. No, I liked Jimmy Connor's run at the U.S. Open. He was like 35, 36, 37, but end of his career, that was another era back then. Athletes didn't last as long. His run like 30 years ago, 40, 35 plus years ago in the U.S. Open. No, it's just great seeing that. Jack Nicklaus, 46 years old, back in 86, that Masters run. Making all those putts on the backside, shooting like 30 on the back, 31, something ridiculous. Taking that tournament, the green jacket at 46 when he was, as Jim Finks, the old Saints GM would say, long in the tooth. There's maybe nothing better in sports than watching that. And we're seeing that with 40-year-old Serena Williams taking on athletes that are like nearly half her age. She's been playing pro tennis for 23 years. Her sister Venus even longer. By the way, they go at it tonight, first round of doubles for them. They'll get going in about 20 minutes. And I believe that's on the main court. I think that's at Arthur Ashe. And we know it's at night. It starts in 20 minutes. Rarely do you have doubles at night, especially prime time main court. But it's Serena and Venus. So that's the story at the U.S. Open. And last night was pretty incredible because you're watching history and you're watching someone, as Jim Finks said, long in the tooth, turning back the clock. And that's one of the greatest things to watch in sports. Plus, I mentioned that she's the story at the U.S. Open. When does that happen? When do the women outshine the men at the same sport at the same time? I mean, maybe a little women's soccer, maybe. But I mean, it's like not everybody's into that. And I know tennis is similar. It's not everybody's into that. But if the women's soccer team had some player that played 25 years and was this legendary player around the world, then maybe you would have that magnetism of this. This is drawing folks that could care less about tennis or women's tennis. They just know history's going down because of what I was talking about, this player that's up in age, end of the career, last tournament, the swan song, digging deep, turning back the clock, and playing their sport at a world-class high level. And that's what we're getting out of Serena Williams. It's special and it's worth watching because you don't see it that often, because you don't see a champion like this at this age. All of those things added up. It just makes it pretty cool. And like I said, has a woman or a woman's team ever supplanted the men? Same sport, same time. It's unheard of. I tweeted the other night, is there a men's, U.S. Open this year? Because all eyes are on the women's side. Hey, every day, this program on radio, on television, on YouTube, brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex. And now, Lamarck Crescent City Ford in Elmwood, Harahan, Jefferson Highway, right before Hickory. Yeah, legendary Crescent City Ford is now Lamarck Crescent City Ford. So the big store, Lamarck Ford, at the Lamarck Automotive Complex, along with Lamarck Lincoln and a lot of other goodies, out by the lake. And out by the river, Lamarck Crescent City Ford, Ronnie Lamarck, bridging the gap. Every day, this program brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex and now Lamarck Crescent City Ford.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
At Home Paint and Decorating, our paints are in it for the long haul. In fact, our top bench of more exterior paints come with a lifetime warranty. Not 25 years, not 50 years, we mean forever. You heard right. At Helm Paint, our top exterior paints have a lifetime warranty against chipping, peeling, and flaking. They also are mildew resistant. Imagine painting your home one time and being done with it. Visit any one of our locations today and make that once-in-a-lifetime purchase. Paint that has a lifetime warranty. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about the freshest local seafood anywhere. Shrimp, oysters, speckled trout, flounder, snapper, soft shells, crawfish. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Hey y'all, it's Junket Cantrell. And I gotta tell you, the summer of 2022 and the travel I've experienced, well, it's memories of a lifetime. I mean, come on, y'all. I went to Switzerland. Ching. First class, $10,000 just for the flight. Ching. The French Riviera. Ching. Singapore. How about Singer-Rich? Ching. And next, I'm heading to Africa again. Ching. All on the city's dime. Yeah, you right. It's LaToya the Destroyer. Where will I go next? One thing's for sure, I won't be paying for it. Spending someone else's money is so much fun.
She danced. She moved. She shake. LaToya the Destroyer Cantrell, Mayor, City of New Orleans.
The Port of New Orleans Napoleon Terminal is nearly doubling in size, with 4 new gantry cranes being installed and over $100 million being invested. That means lots of new jobs, port traffic, and tax dollars for the city. The Port of New Orleans, your port.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, is now more convenient than ever. Now open, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Metairie location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. Metairie and Kenner's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan.
You're talking about France from which we've come.
I mean, listen, we're talking about practice.
You're talking about France that has an ambassador living in the city of New Orleans.
We're talking about practice.
You're talking about France.
We're talking about practice.
You're talking about France.
But we're talking about practice, man.
You're talking about France.
And we're talking about practice. What are we talking about?
Talking about France.
Practice?
France.
Well, we're talking about practice right now.
You're talking about France that has residents and artists in residence right here in the city of New Orleans, over 4 of them.
We're talking about practice.
You're talking about France.
We're talking about practice.
You're talking about France from which we've come.
But we're talking about
France.
It's funny to me too. I mean, it's strange to me too.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With high-definition night vision surveillance systems, letting you see what's going on. Home surveillance that's smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them. Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you on a Thursday afternoon. For some fortunate folks, the Labor Day extended weekend has already started. Good for you. Beelining down the I-10, maybe to the Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Gulf Coast. Maybe heading down to the fishing or hunting camp. Maybe heading north or west. I'll tell you somewhere where I want to go. You know, there is an international city that has a population of like 4.5 million folks, and it's a 12-hour drive from New Orleans. Monterrey, Mexico. It seems like we should have a different relationship, New Orleans to Monterrey. 12 hours by car. You can be in Monterrey, Mexico, which is the most westernized, Americanized Mexican city, the most forward-thinking, affluent, clean, nice Mexican city in the entire country. And it's a 12-hour drive from New Orleans to Monterrey, Mexico. And I'm sure you could fly down there a little quicker, New Orleans to Houston, Houston to Monterey, that kind of gimmick. But I'm going to make that trip sometime soon because it isn't that far, and it's an international city, and it's supposedly got great cuisine, some of Mexico's nicest areas and neighborhoods. Just kind of cool getting out the country. It's right there, and we don't even think about it. You could get in the car in the morning and get there by the afternoon. I mean, it's like, I think New Orleans to Memphis is about 6. St. Louis is like another 4. Chicago's like another 4. So, I mean, Chicago's like 14 hours from New Orleans in a car. You can make it to Monterrey, Mexico, 2 hours quicker than driving to Chicago. I love Chicago. I had a buddy that used to live there. He would get in the car and drive to New Orleans from Chicago sometimes. Get in the car like 3, 4 in the morning, and he'd be in New Orleans by night. Go to dinner that night. I-55 for most of that ride. Anyway, for some fortunate folks, the Labor Day extended weekend has already begun. I don't know if anyone's going to Monterrey, Mexico. Hey, next week on the program, New Orleans District Attorney Jason Williams will join us. Also next week on the program, NOPD Chief Sean Ferguson will join us on the program. You don't want to miss that. I got to give props to Mayor LaToya the Destroyer Cantrell, the city of New Orleans, hiring this former NYPD patrol chief. Starting to be like Buddy D. Let's go to Governor Fausto's Stief of Chaff. Stephen Perry joined us. The Stief of Chaff. It's dyslexia on a sentence basis, not just one word. I'm going to take the first couple of letters off the last word in the sentence, first couple of words off the first word in the sentence, letters, and swap them around. Stief of Chaff. Anyway, Patrol Chief Fausto Pichardo, formerly of the NYPD, was the deputy chief, second in charge, the former head of New York City's police patrol division, literally thousands and thousands of cops. Chief Sean Ferguson, who will join us on the program live next week, he said as long as 6 months, this consulting chief of operations could be around. Fausto Pichardo. Looks like a smart move by the chief, by the mayor. Give LaToya the Destroyer Cantrell credit when she deserves it. And then go to knowlatoya.org and you can find some recall locations you can go to tomorrow. They make it real easy for registered voters in Orleans Parish, residents of New Orleans, to sign. They make it real easy. I think there are 4 locations they're going to do it tomorrow, little pop-ups. Uptown, Gentilly, New Orleans East, Algiers also. knowlatoya.org is the website. You know, this program is on YouTube. We've been on YouTube the last few months. You can check out the program live. What's great about our YouTube channel, click to subscribe. It doesn't cost a thing. You can check out prior programs like yesterday's show where the citizens behind the recall, Eileen Carter and Belton Noonie Man Baptiste, joined us on the program. You can hear that, I don't know, about 30 minutes, that interview with those two. Really interesting. Why the recall? How's it progressing? All of that, including the mayor's response to the recall, making it out to be like it's outsiders, white racist types, all this code word just for it's racism, it's, you know, us versus them, just all that divisive stuff. Eileen Carter and Belton Baptiste are black, by the way. They're the starters of the recall. They're black. They're catching some flack in the deep, you know, black community in New Orleans. Kind of the wacky, lunatic, left, hardcore, bold life, soul coup kind of extremists. Us versus them, black, white, just all the time. Catching some flack from those folks living in the 70s. Now you can check out that on our YouTube channel. Saint starting safety Marcus Maye apparently flashing a gun at some teens in Metairie. Aggravated assault with a handgun, arrested. The Saints starting safety. Just signed him to a 3-year, $28.5 million deal. He's making like north of $9 million a year, $9.5 million a year, and does this stupidity. Not what the Saints needed as that defensive back room gets a little thinner. Serena Williams and Venus go at it tonight in doubles, starting in about 3 minutes. Tomorrow night, the third round for Serena at the U.S. Open. Pretty good stuff to watch if you love sports and love watching an aging athlete give it one last hurrah, a swan song. What's that, Blue Boy? 93.9 FM, New Orleans. Thanks for watching and listening. See you tomorrow, 4 o'clock. Be there.